Hi guys, welcome back to the course. In the last lesson, we learned how to set up multiple LLM models for our OpenClaw bot using the command line on a VPS. And remember, all of that configuration can also be viewed directly from the web dashboard. To check it, simply go to the Config tab, then switch to the raw view. Here what you're seeing is the actual OpenClaw.json file. This is the same configuration file we edited earlier. And as you can see, it already includes the LLM models we previously set up. Now this is one way to configure models for OpenClaw. But as we discussed before, there's a big challenge. Most of the popular models like OpenAI, Claude, or Gemini are paid, and every request costs money. During testing alone, the cost can easily reach $20 to $30 per day. And if you run your system in production, the cost could grow to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. We may also need a cost reduction strategy, such as switching to a lower price model, falling back to a local free LLM, or resetting sessions regularly to prevent the bot from processing an increasingly long context on every call. However, these are not long-term solutions, especially since the context and memory files that OpenClaw relies on to process prompts are updated with every request and continue to grow larger over time. We'll need a more optimized, sustainable, or even cost-free approach to run the bot efficiently. So clearly, we need a better solution, especially for testing, and ideally, something that could even work for production. In this lesson, we're going to solve this problem using OpenRouter. Think of OpenRouter as a gateway. It allows us to access many different models through a single platform. This includes both paid models and free ones. And here's the best part. Even with a free account, you can still access some powerful models. There will be rate limits, of course. But don't worry. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to handle that by rotating API keys. Alright, let's get started by creating a new account. First, go to the OpenRouter website. After logging in, you can open the credits section. Here you can top up if you want. But for now, we'll just use the free tier for testing. Next, go to the API Keys tab. Create a new API key, and make sure to store it somewhere safe, because we'll need it in a moment. Once your key is ready, go to the Models section. Here you'll see a huge list of available models. There are many options, but for this lesson, we'll focus on a free model that works well for agent-based systems. Scroll down and look for this model, NVIDIA Nemotron 3 Nano. This model is designed for high efficiency and strong performance. It's optimized for developers building agentic AI applications, so it's a great choice for our OpenClaw bot. Now copy the model name. We're going to use it in our configuration. Next, let's update OpenClaw to use OpenRouter. Go back to your VPS, or your local machine, whether you're using Mac or Windows. Then run the OpenClaw configuration command. During the setup, enter your OpenRouter API key. Choose to use existing values for the other settings. This allows OpenRouter to be added without changing your previous configuration. And once the process finishes, OpenRouter will be automatically added to your OpenClaw.json file. Alright, after that, make sure your local machine is properly connected to the VPS endpoint that's hosting OpenClaw. Now go back to the web dashboard and refresh the page. You should now see that the configuration has been updated. OpenRouter is already included. By default, OpenClaw may use the auto model from OpenRouter, but we don't want that. We want to use the Nemotron model we selected. So go back to the OpenRouter models page, copy the Nemotron model name again, then return to your configuration, and replace the default model with the Nemotron model. Now let's update the file to apply the changes. Once the update is complete, go to the Agents tab. Here you should see that Nemotron is now set as the default model for OpenClaw. That means our configuration is working correctly. Next, let's go to the chat box and test it. To start, we can run the models command. This command will list all available LLM providers from our configuration file. Now, if you want to assign a specific model, you can use the model command. Here's something important to understand. If a provider like OpenRouter only contains one model, in our case, the Nemotron model, then you only need to call the provider name. OpenClaw will automatically set its default model to that provider's model. This makes the system very flexible and easy to use. But when a provider contains multiple models, the behavior is different. In that case, you'll need to specify the exact model name, or you can use the model's alias. Let's try an example. We'll switch between GPT-4o Mini and Nemotron using their aliases. Simply run the model command. Then enter the alias. As you can see, both models switch correctly. This shows how flexible the OpenClaw system is. Now let's test our free model a bit. Feel free to ask any question or give it any task. OpenClaw uses a powerful system template. It automatically understands different types of requests and routes them properly to the LLM. Alright, now let's talk about rate limits. Since we're using a free OpenRouter account, there are some usage limits. To check this, go to the OpenRouter rate limit page. Here you'll see that a free account allows up to 20 requests per day. If you purchase less than $10 in credits, the daily limit increases to 50 requests. And if your total purchase is more than $10, the limit can go up to 1,000 requests per day. For free models, for simple testing, this is usually enough. But what if you need more requests? Maybe for heavy testing, or for production level automation. In that case, we can use a smarter approach. We can design a free API key rotation system. For example, using 5 free accounts. That would give you up to 5,000 requests per day. And this is exactly what we're going to build next. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to automatically rotate free OpenRouter API keys, so your system can run more reliably and handle higher workloads without hitting the limits.